Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 3, Rishabhadev's appearance, text number 7. Please repeat. Atanayapi, Atanayapi, Na, Bhavata, Ijayoru, Bara, Baraya, Samuchitam, Artham, Ehopalabhamahe, Atanayapi, Na, Bhavata, Ijyayoru, Bara, Baraya, Samuchitam, Artham, Ehopalabhamahe, Ata, otherwise. Anaya, this. Api, even. Na, not. Bhavata, of your exalted personality. Ijjaya, by performance of sacrifice. Urubara Baraya, Urubara Baraya, encumbered by much paraphernalia. Samuchitam, required. Artham, use. Iha, here. Upalabhamahe, we can see. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you. But we think that there is no need for so many arrangements to please your Lordship. Responsively, we have engaged in your worship. We'll do it again. We have engaged in your worship with many things and have offered sacrifices unto you. But we think there's no need for so many arrangements to please your Lordship. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Rupa Goswami says that if one is offered varied foods but has no appetite, the offering has no value. In a big sacrificial ceremony, there may be many things accumulated to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but if there's no devotion, attachment, or love for the Lord, the arrangement is useless. The Lord is complete in Himself, and He does not need anything from us. However, if we offer Him a little water, a flower, and a tulsi leaf, He will accept them. Bhakti, devotional service, is the main way to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not a question of arranging huge sacrifices. The priests were regretful, thinking that they were not on the path of devotional service and that their sacrifice was not pleasing to the Lord. Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhankitam Sham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Shyama Lita Vishaka Devi Ki. So it's said that if one does not receive the mercy of the devotees, lotus feet of the devotees, then one cannot make advancement in spiritual life and be established in his devotional service. So we always pray to Srimati Radharani to please engage us in your devotional service. She's the Queen of Vrindavan, Vrindavaneshwari. And Srila Prabhupada was also in that mood of devotion, and very clearly he's giving us his transcendental realizations and his purports. This entire story, just reading back of how Maharaj Nabi was born and desired very much to have a son just like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although one may consider that not a pure devotional service, but he was feeling like that. He put together a huge sacrifice in order to please the Supreme Lord. Just like this temple was an offering from Srila Prabhupada to Krishna, his spiritual master, and he was very much encouraging all his devotees, disciples, just like King Nabi had all his priests and all his associates. They all together performed the sacrifice. So put together so much paraphernalia, there's so much rules and regulations and scripture in order to do this worship. And Prabhupada often said that there was really no need to invite all the priests and go through all the formalities of the yagyas and the mantras and so many things. The Maha Mantra would have been sufficient. In this age of Kali Yuga, everyone is born in a low condition, and there's no qualified brahmanas, and there are many things that are not performed, like horse sacrifice, taking sannyas, and also many other activities which are the intricate rules and regulations of scripture may be there. But for the sake of preaching and spreading this mission of Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada awarded sannyas. And when one is a young man, it's not recommended, because who can overcome Maya? One devotee was complaining, he said, I like to staying by myself in my own preaching field, just away, because in the temple there's too much Maya. And Prabhupada said, you show me that place where there's no Maya, we shall all go there. So this Maya, this illusion, is prevalent everywhere. And it's not possible that one can overcome Maya by his own endeavors, all day, every day in lotus position, reciting so many shlokas and verses and doing the Agnihotras and fire sacrifices, just like all the Brahmanas during Krishna Leela were performing sacrifices to Narayan, the Supreme Lord. But Krishna and Balaram personally came before them begging some food, some prasad for the cowherd boys. They're all hungry, so Krishna and Balaram want to always satisfy the gopis and the gopas and in a very playful mood. But being blinded by the sacrifice and the arrangement of so much paraphernalia, the rules and regulations, they could not see the Supreme Lord right in front of them. But the wives, the better half, was smarter, and they could see that actually, what is the use of all your rituals and sacrifices? Take all this, give it to Krishna directly. Krishna does not want anything. Just like yesterday, we were invited for a nice lunch, but I was good and hungry, so I very much appreciated the offering. But if one is full, say you've eaten a huge feast, 30 gulab jamins. Okay, one more gulab jamun. No, I can't do it. Not even one more gulab jamun. We used to have gulab jamun eating contests in the past. Very, devotees show their prowess by eating, 100 gulab jamuns. In the winter, you got gulab jamun prema. But the Lord does not want anything, but He wants for us to become satisfied and happy. Just like, what does a parent want from his children? He wants them to be happy, satisfied. So naturally, He wants to send the boys and girls to school. They may not want to, so sometimes there's punishment, chastisement. Generally, if you're being chastised, you think, this person doesn't like me, He's giving me such a hard time. But the Guru's business is to guide, encourage, enliven, and sometimes due to our immaturity, we need to get chastised. But the chastisement is for our own benefit, and it should be done in a way that ultimately we'll be able to see. You can bend, but not to break. Although I've heard many stories if you made Prabhupada angry, and he was only angry because you're not developing or you're not taking up Krishna consciousness, you're not following the very crystal clear path which Srila Prabhupada is giving us, so naturally it's somewhat frustrating. But his love, compassion, and endurance, enthusiasm, patience is always being manifest by his tolerating our inability to perform. We're Malechas, we're Shudras, we're people who have been born in a society of meat-eating, sex attraction on every billboard. Everyone in this material world is desirous. We're all born with desires, and we want to enjoy this world. And we use all our brain power, intelligence, bodily strength, so that we can create a situation so that ultimately I can live comfortably, be happy, have lots of nice food, good association. Just in the previous chapter, we're reading how King Agnidra, by the blessings of Brahma, he had the association of the most beautiful goddess from the heavenly planets, and he was this Purvachiti, and he was praising her in so many ways, and Prabhupada was explaining that when one is desirous to enjoy in this world, then frankly, he admitted after so much praising and wanting to have the association of Purvachiti, that I'll go anywhere with you, it doesn't matter, go to hell, go here, do anything just to gratify the senses. And Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamivaye Prapajate Mayamitang Tarantite. This divine energy, Krishna's energy, is very difficult to overcome. It's impossible. But if one surrenders to Krishna, then he can easily cross beyond. And what is that surrendering process? The process starts with Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing about Krishna, hearing about the holy name. And Lord Chaitanya's prayers are beautiful. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundaram, Bhagavatam, Jagadish Kamaye Mamakanta, Janmani Janmani Ishwari, Bhagavad Bhakti Rahaitu Kitve. I don't want wealth, I don't want followers, I don't want the allurements and enjoyments of this material world. Birth after birth, let me take shelter at your lotus feet. Pick me up from this ocean of birth and death and place me as one the atom at your lotus feet. And Krishna is in our heart. Sarvasya chaham hridisana vishto matak smriti jnanam apohanam cha. I went with some friends to this one mela. Some mela was there. We went to see the mela. And there was some people wanting to preach some philosophy. They grabbed and they said, they want to tell us about that God, it's just a figment of our imagination. It's just your. I said, no, Lord's in the heart. Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridisana vishto. That I'm in everyone's heart. I'm in every atom. I'm everywhere, and I'm guiding everyone, giving knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. No, that's just imagination. So there are many philosophies and so-called philosophers. There are many scientists and so-called big thinkers who want us to believe that there is no God, there's no need for sacrifice. Even Prahlad Maharaj, when he was trying to convince his friends that now's the time, we should chant, we should dance. No, Prahlad, let's play. Let's have a good time. Let's just relax. When you get older, when you're nearing death, then we take life seriously. We don't know when that time will come. Prabhupada was mentioning in the teachings of Lord Kapila Dev that you're walking along the road and you slip, fall, and break your neck and you die. I remember, hate to use personal examples, but when our Pujari, Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu, he slipped and broke his leg and he was incapacitated for some time. And I could see how difficult it is. One moment you're feeling very powerful and very strong, especially when you're young, how hard it is to control the senses. Maybe when you're a little bit older you think it's a little easier, but according to the history and stories that Prabhupada tells, that emperor is asking his assistant that when does this desire to enjoy this world go away? He said, not even up to the time of death. Isn't it the one story when, why was it, or some emperor, one of his learned pundits said, okay, I will prove to you. You bring your young daughter. They went to see one man who was ready to pass away on his deathbed, and he sits up and immediately looks at the beautiful young daughter before he even recognizes the emperor. And heck with the emperor, got a pretty girl here, that's more important. So the senses, the mind, and the desire to enjoy in this world drive us. And we've seen throughout the Bhagavatam so many yagyas and sacrifices, daksha yagya, and this yagya, and so much gold and paraphernalia and ghee, everything is being offered. Even Indra became so worried about it that King Priyavrata was going to outdo him in the sacrifice area. the contest of sacrifices, that he stole the sacrificial horse so he could not perform his sacrifice. But there are many lessons to be learned. And in this particular verse, the priests and the associates of Nabi were starting to feel a little bit like, wait a minute, we're here, we're praying to you, we put all this paraphernalia together, the sacrifice and everything, but ultimately, you don't need anything. You're perfectly complete. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate. That's a very famous verse of how the Lord is complete, and all emanations from Him are also complete units. So everything is complete in itself. And the Lord, He appeared and appears only for the benefit of His devotees, only for the love of His devotee. Advaita Acharya was offering simply Ganga water and Tulsi Devi. And you may think, what kind of offering is that to the Lord? When we see sometimes there's a Vyasa Puja, 150, 250, 1,000 offerings are there. And, you want to give everything to your guru because he's representative of the Lord. What to speak of the Lord? You want to offer everything, isn't it? But what do you give to someone, a famous saying, that has everything? It's like, it's such anxiety. Every birthday, every Christmas, people get anxiety in the West. This person has everything. What am I going to buy him? What am I going to get? And everything belongs to Krishna. Even the small child makes an offering to the father, but where did he get the money, or where did he get that from? It already belongs to the parents. So Krishna, everything belongs to Krishna. All the wealth, all the opulences, everything is His. So it's a matter of recognition that I am servant of Krishna. I am Krishna's eternal servant. Jivara Swarupoi Krishna Nitya Das. Eternally, we're Krishna's servant. And that there's no happiness from the highest planet down to the lowest planet anywhere in this material world. There's no happiness. It's all places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. It sounds like a bleak picture, a very, they're very pessimistic, how it's like something, well, why don't you say something positive? The positive side is that by being miserable and by having a little realization of the intense pain and anxiety that our endeavor for sense gratification causes, becomes an impetus, it becomes a reason for us to have enthusiasm to get out of this world. When someone is held captive, beaten, suffering, starved, and insulted, humiliated, when you're finally released from your imprisonment and you feel the freedom, such a wonderful feeling. So we are that person who's imprisoned by our mind and senses, so many different forms of life. You may think, I have a nice American body, or nice Indian body, or British body, or whatever. And we have so much opulence and so much opportunity to enjoy. But in your next cockroach body, or being a little rat running around, the mice are running around, the cat catching you and enjoying. I also heard here, a very bad thing, that during the cold some of the dogs were even eating their babies, hungry. So imagine the misery in this material world, and we think, no, that's other people. Isn't it Yamaraj was discussing with Yudhishthir? What is the most amazing thing? It's amazing that people are dying, not only people, but animals, ants, and sometimes even in here, the fan is going on, a pigeon gets, cut. We've seen that happen here. So, misery, death, disease is right in front of us at all times. And if we think that it's like when you're being drowned in the water, there's certain punishments that certain countries do in order to get the truth out of people. They put people in the water and they time it. They know what their endurance is, and they finally let them up for a little air, and the person thinks, oh, what a relief, but then back down in the water again. So we have 20, 30, 50, 100 years of taking a so-called breath, but in that breath we're also experiencing, trying to enjoy the sweet rice, but it's full of sand, you can't really get into it because it's crunch everywhere. So that's what the material existence is like. It's a temporary, miserable place. So even if you're poor and have nothing, so-called nothing to offer, Krishna doesn't want anything. He wants your devotion. He wants love. There's Tulsi Devi, offer with love and devotion water. You see some beautiful pictures. The sun is setting. A great yogi sitting on the bank of the Ganga, making an offering back to the Ganga. What kind of offering is that? You just took you took the water from the Ganga and put it back in the Ganga. Is the Ganga benefited in any way? So it's the heart, change of heart. Clean the heart. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadevagni nirvapanam. That we are trying to clean the heart. How? By chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now that offering can come in many ways. Sometimes we hear many tunes, and some people are very attached to Hare, and so they want to express their love and devotion, and it comes out with great vibration. But the most important aspect of our chanting and our offering is the love and devotion. And we may feel that, I really don't have any love and devotion. You ever feel dry, or I really don't have any love, and I'm not very qualified. It's a good sentiment. It's true. It's true. We are not qualified. We don't have true love and devotion only because it's covered. It's covered by layers, many lifetimes of trying to enjoy separately from Krishna. Many lifetimes of trying to be number one. Everyone wants to be number one. But Krishna is number one. Eka Ishvar Krishna Arasa Pritya. Everyone else is secondary. Krishna is number one. And once we accept that, recognize it, and know that Krishna's dear friend, the Guru, the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, he has descended in this world not for the desire to be glorified, to be picked up in the airport with a Mercedes-Benz, or to have so much opulence, or people falling at his feet with prayers and love and devotion. I know Prabhupada was walking when Krishna Balaram was being built, and one devotee, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, said, okay, go do something useful, It's like, we don't want to just be enthusiastic about hearing our own voice and letting others know that, I have so much love and so much devotion. Look how I'm, overly praying and glorifying. Does not mean that you should not offer prayer. We have the Vyasa Puja, we have the various offerings which are going on daily for the deities. And it's not like, okay, well, Krishna doesn't need anything, so we don't need to do anything. We're off the hook, No need to go to the market and buy so much and go arrange all the flowers. Why does Krishna need so many flower decorations? Why does he need so many sweets? How many sweets are we making for Krishna? Anyway, he doesn't need so many. And how many offerings a day? Jagannath is eating 64 times a day? It's an over endeavor. And that's not it. We should give everything we have to Krishna. It's not that you make crores and crores of rupees or millions and millions of dollars, however you want to calculate it, and you've worked hard your entire life. Now I'm getting old. Actually, I should go to Vrindavan and surrender. Let me give it to my family so they can continue enjoying sense gratification and go to hell. And I'll come to Krishna with my offering of tulsi and water. Krishna doesn't need my money. He's rich. But my family, they can keep. So it's not the proper understanding. These emperors, these wealthy kings, when they saw Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, they wanted to offer abundant wealth. And it wasn't that, no, I don't want wealth. The Goswamis engaged it in building Radha Govinda, Madan Mohan. So many, I think later this afternoon, Vrindavan Prabhu was taking parikram to the temples. So these temples were offerings of love to Krishna, to Radha Govinda, to Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Raman. These are all offerings. And there was endeavor. People were working hard all day, gathering sand and, stone, and offerings are going on every day. So much, money matters are taking place, but it's all in Krishna's service. Prabhupada was expert at everything. He could sing beautiful bhajan, he could speak beautifully, write beautifully, have so many cook, wonderful cook. Just very pleased. All the qualities of demigods were manifest in one who is actually surrendering to Krishna. So you may be blind, but you can see the stars in the sky by Lord Chaitanya's mercy. You may be lame. My knees are not so good. Sometimes I think, oh, this is not good. I'm getting old. My knees are not working. But then you can climb mountains. So sometimes I go to Himalayas just to make sure it still works, Krishna's benedictions, I have to test them. So I still walk a little bit, through Gangotri or Jamunotri. We do everything for the pleasure of the Lord, but sometimes we like to dovetail that, I made that offering, but after the offering's finished, the pujari's piling in all the, getting all the nectar. We have to have sometimes deity council meetings to remind them that this is the Lord's mercy, it's meant for everyone. We know you're pujari, it's nice, it's important. But so we are making offerings and we're doing all this, but we are doing it for actually our benefit, to cleanse our own hearts. And when Krishna sees that you're making the endeavor to please Him by your chanting, by your study and reading, by your tolerating other devotees, your good behavior. You so much, don't like this person, you really want to chastise them, but, just out of respect for Prabhupada and please Krishna, you'll smile and maybe offer some good words of compliment. So we're all tolerating our mind, we're all tolerating one another, but we have to stay in the association of devotees. The sadhu sangha, sabha shastra, koi lavam sadhu sangha, sangha stadivoy. And it's not just a slogan or a shloka, but by associating with those who are enthusiastic for Krishna, that rubs off. Narada Muni, he proved it, isn't it? That associating with the sadhus, serving them, taking permission, taking some remnants, not stealing, he asked for permission, they gave remnants. And there's so much benefit. So we're here, we're having the opportunity to sit and chant in front of the deities. One devotee yesterday was telling me that in some book was written that this Prem Mandir, Kripalu's Prem Mandir, is considered one of the most beautiful temples in the world. That marble, they spent $100 million, that one temple next door to us here. And people come from everywhere, they go inside and see it. It's nice, it's a good endeavor. But when they come to Krishna Balaram Mandir, we didn't spend $100 million here. But when the kirtan is roaring and the beautiful deities and decoration, they feel so much enlivened and so they can appreciate the sacrifice. See, it's not all just in how spending hundreds of millions of dollars and making Italian carved marble that Krishna is super pleased by that. Krishna is pleased, but it's more our devotion and love. And I'm not trying to criticize, I'm just giving an example that I was appreciating Krishna Balaram Mandir is actually very beautiful and done in such a way. Prabhupada empowered his followers to create something very wonderful that millions are coming and appreciating Krishna Balaram, Gaura-Nitai, Radha Shama Sundar, and appreciating Prabhupada too. I see many come and see the deity of Prabhupada and seeing the devotion of the devotees serving Prabhupada. It brings joy to their heart because everyone is feeling miserable in this world. And when they see a devotee is happy, so today we should practice smiling, be happy, because that happiness is contagious. And many times people would say, well, Prabhupada, he doesn't look very happy. But there's many pictures of Prabhupada with this broad smile. Prabhupada is fixed, but he's very, very serious because he sees the, Harinam, 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 Kevalam. He says, there's no other hope in this world than the Harinam. And he would cry just to see the miserable condition. This is a sadhu's soft heart and a sadhu's feeling. And his sacrifice to Krishna is offering so many bhaktas. This is Prabhupada's offering, and this is the sadhu's offering to give Krishna consciousness to others and bring others to Krishna's service. So this is a very instructive part of Srimad Bhagavatam, and next several verses, the sages and associates of Navi are glorifying the Lord, repenting and feeling that I was making this offering for some. It's like when the Lord appears, it's the best of all diamonds and jewels, but I'm just looking for some broken pieces of glass. Is that Dhruva Maharaj who said like that? What is the purpose of our offering? What is the purpose of our chanting? What is the purpose of our being involved in the Krishna consciousness movement? That we want to ourselves develop and awaken our love for Krishna. And as we develop our love and awaken our Krishna consciousness, it'll inspire others to also follow us. Because, Mahajano Jainagata Sapanta, the great personalities are, one devotee said, please bless me that I can become a sadhu. So what is a sadhu? A sadhu is one who worships his spiritual master, repeats the words of his spiritual master, and encourages others to also follow this path of bhakti. Because the bhakti path is the path of love and devotion. What could be higher than love and devotion? Jnana, knowledge, vairagya, these come along. Jnana, vairagya. With bhakti, jnana, vairagya must be there. Because without knowledge, there's no renunciation. So we have to cultivate knowledge. We have to hear, have a regular pattern of hearing Prabhupada's lectures. Because hearing, people say, oh, Arjuna was fortunate, he had Krishna right in front of him, he heard directly from Krishna, but reading is one. But Prabhupada is there. All these lectures were recorded from the very beginning. 1966 with dictaphones and all those big cumbersome machines. Now we have very fancy tools. You can record something in China by pressing a button. It's like, we have so much advanced technology, computers. Prabhupada was saying, yes, the modern technology now is computers back in 1966. So how far in the past 40-some years have things progressed? Technology. But are people any happier? Are people still not getting old, diseased, and dying? How has it changed people's lives? So you're driving a 2014 Jaguar, and the other guys are still riding a rusty old Ambassador. He's probably just as happy. Doesn't make one happier that he has so much opulence. So we should all make this offering to Krishna. Today is a very auspicious day. We can chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And try to please Srimati Radharani that she can say, my dear Krishna, these bhaktas are very nice. Please give them your mercy. Oh, they are nice? People always say, please give me a recommendation letter. One devotee came to my office yesterday. He wants to score a big job with a big company in America, and he does computer work. And he said, if you give me a letter, recommendation, that'll be good for me. So Srimati Radharani is giving a letter of recommendation for our initiation in this process of Krishna consciousness. If you have a good reference, then sometimes, I know my son, when he was applying to the police, he's a policeman, police academy, Brahma Tirtha, one devotee, perfect questions, perfect answers, Brahma Tirtha. He met Prabhupada in 1971. So So he knew the chief of police there, and he said, Vishwambar is a good boy, you should give him the opportunity. So they're very happy. They put him in the police department. So good recommendations go a long way. Okay. And I don't know, I always have to have something with my family here, attachments. So thank you very much. Any questions, comments about the sloka, Nabi Maharaj and the offering of all the sages to Krishna?